a great spot.
Yeah. This place.
Cheers.
So this is historic Roswell, Canton Street, I know you've been here before, and it's a lot of action here. You've seen that too, right?
Yes, yes. It is a big singles thing for like older singles,
Yes,
which is nice for
exactly.
older singles to have a place to go.
Right, where you don't feel like you're old.
Yeah, exactly. But also couples. So like my husband and I love to come down here and hang out. And you're a couple now,
Yes.
and you do too.
Yeah,
It's
so we
just
live 2
fun.
miles down the street, and we'll walk here sometimes, just depending on the day. And they have all kinds of festivals and like the Live After 5 and art festivals and things.
Yeah.
So it's an easy walk.
Yeah, it's a very cute street with lots of cute shops, and like you could never eat at the same place twice for a month, probably.
Yes.
It's just great places.
Yes.
So when normally people get divorced and have to give up their house,
Yes.
that's traumatic.
Right. I grew up in East Cobb. I was 4 years old when we moved here, so it was 1969 or something like that. So there's literally cows around everywhere. And
Yeah,
now
it's changed a lot.
It's changed a whole lot. So anyway, my kids grew up in East Cobb as well. For 23 years, we lived in the big house, the pool in the backyard, and then after the divorce, it was just too much to really manage. The pool and all that, and plus my daughter was in college, my son was in college, so it was just me in this house. So actually I renovated it and then sold it and moved into a townhome just down the street, and it was a huge switch, but I don't have a yard, and everything's included as far as the roof and the siding and the trash pickup, and and it feels safe, and it's easy to keep up.
And it was probably helpful in terms of you starting life over again, to have access to all this social life.
It was very helpful. One thing I realized pretty quick after I became single, I mean, I'd still go out with my married friends and their husbands. I'd be the third wheel, fourth wheel, fifth wheel, whatever.
Right.
They're always very sweet, and never felt like I wasn't welcome. But they'd all be chatting and doing their thing. So I would go out with my married friends, and I'm looking over my shoulder like, where's the single people, and that guy's cute or whatever, and they just really never picked up on it. They weren't very helpful. I didn't expect them to. They're married,
Right.
And
Just different phases of life.
different phases, different motives, and so I realized that I really need some single friends. And the guy I actually did my LAPC with when I first got out of school. Remember I told you we did a pre-licensure for 3 years before you're fully licensed.
You're indentured servitude.
You're indentured servitude, yes. He is single, and he introduced me to a couple of his friends that are girlfriends, and they were very sweet, and lived right down the street here as well, and knew everybody, and just it was easy.
Right.
They just invite me, and we'd go do things, and we just a whole different vibe.
So tell me about what it's like to be dating at the age of 45.
So I had a little boyfriend.
Because that sounds really
I know,
terrible
it was scary.
to me.
It was scary, but I don't know. It's just so weird. It's like loneliness is. I mean, I've understood being alone, and I've been lonely or bored, but lonely is a really different kind of feeling. I almost want to say my skin hurt, not necessarily like sexually, or
Right.
but just like touching or sitting next to someone, having a human proximity. There was something very lacking. I could feel the lack of that. So anyway, it took a while, but I finally found a guy. It was actually my married girlfriends that took me out, and they want to show me a good time. And one of them's a really good wing woman, and that's where I met this guy. So we dated for about a year, honestly.
Oh.
And I kind of knew 10 months in, it's like, I want to get married again, but I wasn't going to marry him. He was a great guy. He was perfect, but I wasn't going to marry him. So I got real sort of laser focused, like I do in my life when I make a decision. And I never done the match thing or eHarmony or any of those.
Also sounds terrifying to
It
me.
does, I know. But I knew a couple people that actually met like their spouses.
Oh, I know a lot of success stories, but
Yeah,
that all
amazing.
evolved
I hear a lot
many
of-
years after I was in the dating world, so
Yes,
it seems
there are
very
a lot of
foreign to
crazy
me.
stories
It's
too.
kind of like us in the internet.
Yeah, yes, exactly like that. But I knew that I would need to get help, just like I did with having to be online at school. So I went out with a couple, intentionally invited some girls to dinner, and said, okay, y'all tell me how to get on Match. Tell me what you learned, and they told me the do's and the don'ts, and be really strict about what you want, and don't feel like you have to say hello to everyone or that kind of thing. And that was very helpful, because you get a lot of like pings or winks, and they're saying unless the guy like actually like text you like a paragraph back and it's obvious he's actually read your stuff, don't even bother. They're just going down there saying, oh, new face, right.
New face. Oh, she's
you
cute.
Know, how
she's
many
cute.
fishing lines can we throw in there? Yeah. So and then I had another girlfriend that helped me with a list, and I was very specific. I wanted a widow or someone that had a story like mine, a very complicated long-term marriage that like wasn't about we fell out of love or they cheated on me kind of thing. And I wanted someone fiscally responsible, 2 grown sons.
Why? Tell me about that.
Well, I have a daughter, and I love my daughter, and you have a son, so you know the difference, the moodiness, I don't know, just less drama. And I think
so drama, but also about accepting a potential stepmother.
Yes.
Got it. Smart. Good thinking.
But I wanted grown children too.
Yeah.
So like at least in college.
Mm-hmm.
So stepmother, yes, but not really, right? I mean,
right.
Not in the sense that I'm driving her to school or
exactly.
that kind of thing. Although I do, want to take a part, and I do take a part, and the younger one's still in college, and there's things I've helped manage, and happy to do that.
Yeah.
What else was it? I wanted him to be involved in his community, and I wanted him to have long-term friends, and I thought that was really important, because if someone liked you when you were 5 and they still like you, that says a lot about someone, in my opinion.
True, of course.
So that was important. So I just I made a list. I think there was some more things. Athletic. Tall, I had to be at least 6'2", because I'm tall.
Because you're tall?
I found out recently I'm only 5'9". I thought I was 5'10".
Did you shrink?
I must have.
Well, we do. That's just a fact. And so, how long did it take to be on Match for Mr. Right to pop up?
So I am one of those stories. Literally, I got on Match like at 8:30 Friday night after Thanksgiving. Saw this guy, and I texted him because I'm a certain already established that, and he texted me back at 10:30. We probably talked on the phone 30 hours within like a week's period.
Oh my gosh!
And we wanted to go out, and I suggested hiking because I think it's a day date. You're talking, and it's just more casual. And anyway, didn't involve eating in front of somebody or drinking or whatever. It just seemed easier. And so I couldn't hike for about 3 weeks. So we booked something. And I was going out with my girlfriends. I was going doing things. He's like, I thought you didn't have any nights available. I said, oh no, that's just for hiking. He's like, well, how about tomorrow? so we went out, and we've been going out ever since. So I wasn't his first one, but he has a few stories, but this was my first one, literally, an hour.
That is wonderful. Happy ending.
I know. Weird, huh?
No, not weird, because you knew who you were and what you were looking for, and that's key, right? Knowing yourself is the first step.
Knowing yourself is definitely important, and knowing what you don't want.
Right.
That's kind of what I did want. So I wanted it to be different.
Yeah.
So I kind of feel like we're cheating now, because a lot of the hard stuff's already been done. Raising the kids, and I don't care who you are, you're going to have a different opinion than your spouse because you grew up in different homes. It's just classic, right?
Financial ups and downs. Holidays with relatives. All of those things. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, all that stuff.
Yeah, all that stuff.
So
that causes anxiety and
well, you just you figure it out or you don't, right? And we don't really necessarily have to figure it out. It's already kind of done deal. But in retirement, pretty much planned, and that's not a fear or concern if it's going to happen. So it's just not good.
Yeah.
When I started modeling at 19, the one thing that was really crystal clear is it wasn't about getting a suntan or not getting a suntan, but don't show up the tan lines.
Right.
Don't show up when, your chest red and then white. So basically, don't have a tan. So at a very early age, I stopped really tanning. Like, I'm as dark as I ever really get right now. And even today, I'll put sunscreen on my hands and my chest, my neck.
Right.
I just wish I started doing that earlier. I didn't really start doing that until the last 10 years.
There's a name for it. But I have the permanent discoloration here. I don't know if there's a procedure you could do.
Bleaching cream, hydrocortiquine.
Will chemical peels address that?
I think that it's more like the laser that does. I mean, I've done a lot of topical things. I haven't done any petting, so I'm not saying I never will.
Right.
My husband, Rich, he's like, don't do that. I don't want you to do that. That before we got married, I told him, I said, look, because I knew how he felt. So I was like, well, before you marry me, I just want you to know I'm not taking it off the table.
Exactly.
Like, I'm not saying I'm going to do it, but I don't want you to be like, oh, you promised me, or we never talked about this. So we're talking about it.
We're talking about this now. Well, you know what's so funny? So my mom, I don't know, she must have been in her 40s or 50s. I'm probably older than that. And she used to talk about, oh, I just want to have my eyes done or whatever. And it would just terrify. I was like, no, don't, no. Oh my gosh. And not that she could have, I was raised by a single mom who, we were dirt poor. So not that she could have gone out and had a facelift. But she was like, she would talk about it and it would just horrify me. And I would think, I would never, oh my gosh, that's so scary and terrible and why. But you know what? I am absolutely, as soon as I have a few spare nickels that I can not feel guilty about committing to that, I'm absolutely going under the knife. And I appreciate people who say, oh, I love my wrinkles. It's, I've earned
I don't
them.
mind them. It's the sagging that bothers me. The wrinkles are
I've earned them and I'm embracing them. And that's I do not belittle that. But for me, I want to look like I feel.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Because sometimes when I look at a picture, or I'm like, oh, gee, I feel so much younger than that. Yeah, and it's the dropping and the,
Yeah, the
so
sagging.
Trust me, I will talk about it.
Yeah, and it was easy 10 years ago to say you'd never do it, right?
Yeah.
I always said we're girlfriends 10 years ago, oh, we're not doing that, we're not doing this. Yeah, but we're not really challenged yet.
No, we're not. No, we're not.
Honestly, we're not quite there.
We're not, no. Well, and practically, my mom, who is now 92, by the way, or she'll be 92 in a week or so, she, actually, her eye doctor wants her to pay to have her eyes done because
will cover that.
No, they won't.
Oh,
but they drooped so far that they're impairing her vision now.
I think insurance
So
will pay for that.
I feel like if they won't. But I feel like if I'm gonna have to have it done when I'm 80 or 90, I may as well enjoy it now.
Yeah. Yeah, but I do facials regularly and the water and like some sunscreen and working out. You're talking about the gym. I think if you're getting the blood flow to your face, it's very helpful.
Well, I hadn't thought about that.
Absolutely.
I was just trying to lift my derriere back up a little bit.
Yeah, people say I do chest one day, then I do
legs, chest, back.
And like I said, no, I do butt every day.
I might need to take that on.
Yeah, she's like, no, I do leg,
because I'm rotating right now.
No, I don't rotate. I hit it every day. And gravity's still doing its thing.
It does. I don't know even when it started falling, because who looks around naked at the back of the But I have no reason to, and I don't know, one day, I have a lot of mirrors in my bathroom on multiple directions, and I happened to catch a glimpse, and I was like, what is happening? How long has it been like that? And that was part of the impetus for me starting my new strength training regimen about 8 months ago. Because I was like, okay, there has to be a solution to this.
Yeah, weight's a new thing for me. That's something that...
Is it new for you?
Yeah, Rich, my husband.
Really?
He was into the weight. So I've always gone to the gym.
What did you do at the gym? What was your...
I usually did the elliptical, and then I do hand weights and sit-ups. And the classes were really good. The LA Fitness used to have like a body pump type thing, so I did the classes. But then when I moved out this way, I don't know, then I hike, run, just always doing something.
Just active.
So it was nice to have the weights actually talk to me, because I kind of mess around with them. But to have and then to see the results, so that's been good. I know as we age, it's important for our joints and our bones to have that.
Yes, and there's just a natural, which I didn't really. I'm smart. I research stuff. Don't know why I didn't research that, but even working out, we lose muscle tone.
Yeah.
Every year as we age.
Yeah.
Like even working out.
Right.
So if you do nothing.
Well, it's plastic.
Very important.
I used to just not eat, skip one meal a day for a week, and I'd lose 10 pounds,
Okay,
metabolism.
Not me.
Well, this was like in my 30s, right?
I don't have that metabolism.
Now it's
never have.
Now it's like I don't get on the schedule. I know it's going to say something I like. So it's like, not today.
Not
Probably
today.
Not tomorrow after this probably.
Right. So you're 1 year in. Just celebrated your first year anniversary, right?
Yes.
So you guys look to me like you're not just living a second chapter, but possibly the best chapter.
Yes, I feel like I'm definitely living the best chapter. It's easy, simple. Like I said, we have so many of the hard things to be figured out, and I think we're both so appreciative. He was widowed for 10 years. And just finding your match, just finding somebody that's just easy to be with. We haven't had a fight, not that I anticipate what a fight is. That doesn't mean we've agreed all the time, but he likes to tell people we've never had a fight. And I think, well, I guess he's right. They've never screamed at each other. But that doesn't mean I haven't been like, hey, I think you misunderstand what I'm trying to say, or that kind of thing. So that's just nice to have all that history or all that understanding about being in a relationship.
But also, y'all are not just sitting on the porch rocking. You guys are socializing.
Yes, he's a very social guy.
In the gym.
That was one of the boxes.
Every other
somebody
day.
That had friends, someone that liked to go out and do things. And we're in the gym at least 3 or 4 days a week. We're hiking. Work out probably 5 or 6 days a week easy, and that's a great understanding we have. That was one of our boxes. So if I need to go work out, there's no like, oh, but I have to be here by myself, or I haven't seen you all day. None of that kind of stuff. And usually we try to arrange to go together, and that's been awesome. I love hiking. In fact, for our 1 year anniversary, he planned a trip through the Blue Ridge Parkway. He has a convertible. I've never been to Blue Ridge Parkway. It's beautiful. And just planned hikes in between and rented cabins and just kind of kept it really loose. And it was so much fun.
But also, you guys go out, and you eat out, and you go out with friends, and you dance, and
yes. Last Thursday was Alive After 5. Friday we went out. Saturday we went out. And Sunday we're like, oh God.
I always have so much fun with you, Anastasia. This was fun. I love that we, living our next chapter, have great spouses that we can hang out with and have fun and go dancing and live our best lives like we're teenagers, except better, because we have more experience.
That's right. Yeah.
We're not dead.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
If you want to hear more stories like this, please subscribe. And if you are somebody who is living your next best chapter, I want to hear about it. I want to tell your story. So please get in touch with me.